So I think you should give like a little bit of a sexual trigger warning.
Sexual trigger warning. This episode contains... Wait, Bryce, what does it contain?
It contains spicy material, toe-curling yumminess, and some not safe for work scenes.
Spicy material. Toe-curling yumminess. And some NSFW scenes.
My name is Bryce, and I would like to read from a little thing that I wrote, sort of inspired by a lot of stuff we saw in this episode, and this is kind of nerve-wracking for me right now.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, you're not going to like this, Liz. You are not going to like this.
I just want to be clear. I have not.
You've not.
I've not read this. I've not seen this. I have no idea. You and I, dear listener, we're going into this together, fully blind.
I wrote this on the train here, so no one has read this. And frankly, there might be some misspellings and things that are, but I feel nervous, but this is women-centric fiction that I wrote, inspired by a lot of the things that we took in this episode.
Women-centric fiction.
And also this might be kind of long. So this is the intro. So you can skip forward if you are in a situation where feeling spicy might be making you be in trouble. If you know what I mean. A school teacher or principal or like a gym coach or something like that. Hi, I'm Kitten. I'm awkward. I struggle. Even though everyone says I'm beautiful, my overprotective, gruff, blue-collar father, my supportive mother, my two promiscuous female best friends, I just don't see it. They all see a 5'5" natural blonde with a thigh gap that would make the Grand Canyon blush, and a curvy waist with a little upturned nose, plus lips that everyone thinks have fillers but are natural. But all I see is a pile of shit and garbage. And don't get me started on my luck with men. If romance was a department store, my card would be permanently declined. I'm the worst on dates. From eye contact to thigh contact. From my lips to my hips to my uneven tits. Oh, that's another sticking point. My breasts are two slightly different sizes. I talk about it all the time. I'm a bit of an ugly duckling, even though my name is Kitten. Kitty for short. So it was only natural that I was standing in the bathroom with my favorite Irish bar, Dangerous Protectors, in front of the you guys have to stop laughing, in front of the full-length mirror, plumping my pumpkins around in my hands, trying to make them match up. My date was sitting at a table outside, eating boiled cabbage. He was a real dud, a 5'1" podcaster who was visibly erect and kept telling me about his crypto holdings. Ugh. So I was hiding in here, judging myself in the mirror. It's a bathroom after all, and I'm a girl. What I didn't realize was it was the men's bathroom. Guess I had one too many fuck me crazy on a yacht.
Is that a cocktail?
Yes. I get to that. Guess I had one too many fuck me crazy on a yacht. That's my favorite drink. Nope, it wasn't until I heard the telltale scratch of paper on skin and the long flush that only a man could do that I realized that I was a fish out of water. The first thing that I noticed as he exited the stall were his hands. They were, huge. Each finger looked like the leg of a spider, and his hand part of it that the fingers attached to looked like the body of a spider. I wanted him to crawl all over me like a big spider crawls... You guys, I'm trying to be fucking vulnerable here. I wanted him to crawl all over me like a big spider crawls all over women's faces when they're sleeping every night, even if they don't see them during the day. The next thing I noticed was his height, 6'5", exactly 1 inch taller than my dad. And, then I saw motorcycle boots, the badass Levi's jeans, and the leather jacket, and I knew I was in trouble. His gorgeous face turning into a smirk cemented that fact. But I just stood there, gobsmacked, dumbfounded, and for the first time in a long time, horny as a goat. That nebbish little cretin I had left in the barroom just flew right out of my mind. "What's your name, Blondie?" he asked me. His voice had a sexy but strange accent I couldn't quite place. I stammered out, "Pussy!" Fuck. That's my intrusive thoughts again. "No, I mean Kitty. I mean Kitten. What's your name? Anal. I couldn't be hearing that right. Those goddamn intrusive thoughts again. I had to ask. Your name is Anal? No, Anal. It's Israeli. I was hiding in here. Hiding from what? I asked. I realized I was biting my lip so hard it was liable to start bleeding. His face fell, and he began to answer. But another flush drowned him out. The door to the big stall for disabled people practically flew off its hinges as a quintet of perfectly manicured toes attached to a pair of Versace sandals kicked it open. Anal smirked and rolled his big, beautiful brown eyes. Kabir, what did I tell you about property destruction? And out walks Kabir, 6 feet 5 inches of pure Indian power, wearing traditional clothing with a modern flair, and tucking what seemed to be a sizable potato dosa into his crotch. Sorry, I can't do the accent here. No, I can't. Liz, we're going to get in a lot of trouble. Sorry, Anal. I didn't know you had company. I'm a mechanical engineer. Can you blame me for messing with doors? He said with a hot version of the accent that I can't reproduce here. They both looked at me. I was still holding my perky breast that I felt so self-conscious about. Ainul said, Kabir, meet Kitten. Kabir looks at Ainul, then looks at me. A perfectly manicured eyebrow, arched like a parenthesis, typed out by a hard-working tech worker in India's capital of technology, Bengaluru. Another stray for your shelter, Ainul? Or are you just going to foster her for a few months in your apartment until she scratches you? Ainul's face smirked and was sad at the same time. Oh my God, Ainul. Kabir's eyebrow fell. I'm so sorry. I forgot. Ainul whipped around, his leather jacket flapping in the air, and stalked out. The scent of Brut lingered, but he was out. I looked at Kabir, dumbfounded, still jostling my lopsided jumblies. Kitten. Oh, I shouldn't have said that to him. He fled Israel after October 7th, and then he had to leave the Upper West Side due to anti-Semitism. But the thing that hurt him the most was he got kicked out of Himbo City for being too kind to women. And that reminds me of a dark past of my own. His big, beautiful brown eyes grew wet, just like me. He turned, whipped his traditional garments in the air, and fled back into the stall. The scent of Brut also lingered in this direction. I looked at myself in the mirror and smirked, and then also made a sad expression and shook my head. I felt like a piece of steak thrown into the lion's den, except the lions had a rivalry, and the steak, well, it was me, and it was just begging to be ripped apart.